Let's talk about things that I no longer purchase or have at least cut back significantly on, and what things I do still spend my money on as my income increases and my lifestyle has moved into more soft life elegance rather than chaotic new money princess. So I didn't grow up with money. I grew up in a very low income household. And then when I did have money, there was a period where for a time, I went a little bit crazy and I had like these big spending years where I would spend on a lot of different things. So the pendulum swung the other way. And now I'm a little bit more balanced. So let's talk about what I don't spend my money on anymore and what I do. One, alcohol. When I first decided that I was going to start spending money again, I was going out a lot. I was buying alcohol. I was buying cocktails mostly because I thought they made me look chic and sophisticated. And this was fine for a while. It was really fun to go out with friends and have a great night out. But there comes a time when it can get a little out of control. And those nights were starting to be very expensive. If I was going out 2 or 3 times a week, which sometimes I did, I'd be spending $200-300 a week just on food and alcohol. But there came a time last year when I started drinking a little excessively. It came after a bad breakup, and perhaps I was using alcohol to numb myself during that time. But I started drinking more, and that did not make my life classy or sophisticated at all. So I gave up drinking altogether at the start of the year. I didn't touch any alcohol for 6 months. And while I have gone back to drinking now, I'm drinking very occasionally. I needed that time to get my life back on track, and it has, and my life has improved so much since then. So not only was alcohol incredibly expensive, it was not making me classy or leading me to the type of lifestyle that I wanted. Second one, budget skincare and fragrance, especially fragrance. There was a time when I was against impulse purchasing, but when I started spending money again, I loved impulse purchasing. I was spending a lot of money on lower end skincare and fragrances, especially dupes, especially supermarket body sprays. If an influencer had recommended it on social media, I would go out and buy it. Especially if they said that skincare was going to give me glowy glass skin, I was like, add to cart. And while every now and then I would find an okay product, mostly I was just cluttering my cupboards with products that were pretty meh. Didn't really do that much. And some of the skincare brands were actually making my skin worse. I never thought I had sensitive skin, but I started getting rashes and all sorts of problems. So I've gone back to basics now, and I am not spending a lot of money on hundreds and hundreds of different skincare products. I'm keeping the basics. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm not against spending money on skincare, but I would rather put my money towards microneedling, maybe some Botox, rather than the skincare itself. And with fragrance, I was hoarding a lot of cheap fragrance. And most of the time, I didn't even like these fragrances that much. They were just trendy at the time. So I've actually pulled back a lot on fragrance and perfume. Now, if I want to try something new, I will get a sample first. I never blind buy if I can help it. And I'm only sticking to a few that I love. I tend to like niche fragrances now, which can be expensive, but I'm only buying 1, maybe 2 a year, rather than the copious amounts of dupes and products and body sprays and perfumes that I was buying previously. And I do not want to smell like coconut vanilla like every single other person. I want to smell unique. Likewise with clothing, I'm just spending way less on clothes. I used to just pop into a store to see what they had rather than if I needed anything. I would buy something just because it looked cute on the hanger, and oftentimes I would wear it maybe once, twice, but never more than that. Now I'm sticking to more simpler lines, more minimalist fashion, which may be slightly boring, but not following trends is how you find your own style. To be iconic, you need to be yourself and not like everyone else. So what do I spend my money on now? Well, I haven't become frugal again, even though I probably should. Mostly my life now is about experiences and educating myself and just trying to live that soft, luxurious life. I want to learn things that enrich my mind. I want to embrace literature, study film. I want to read philosophy and explore new places. This year already, I've been to Paris in May. I went for my birthday, which was fantastic. Paris will always have my heart. And then last month I went to London for the week because I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to London. I just feel like going. So I jumped on a plane and went. I absolutely loved London, and I would totally move there if I didn't have responsibilities here. London might be my favorite city right now. I also spend money on books because I like to try and read most days, nearly every day if I can. Out of the books that I've read recently, my favorite has been The Elegance of the Hedgehog. Absolutely loved that book. Recommend it to everybody. I also like Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar. And what else have I read recently? Oh, Kate Chopin, The Awakening was also good. Currently on my to-be-read pile is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous and Kafka's Metamorphosis. I've also been having film weeks where I'll pick a director and watch 3 or 4 of their films to understand what their style and cinematography is like. I particularly like Sofia Coppola for that dreamy, romantic but tragic story. Virgin Suicides is probably my favorite of hers. Wes Anderson for those quirky characters and that unbeatable color grading. And Edgar Wright for that choppy, fast-paced editing. And his films are just funny. I just think they're very funny. So as they say, I want to be disgustingly educated, darling. And if there's nothing that I want to buy, then I don't. I will put any spare money back into the stock market because I'm always wanting to build my wealth, because that's the most elegant thing you can do. So I would rather stay home and just watch a film or immerse myself in literature rather than go out now and just spend for the sake of spending. And that's building and cultivating the most richest life possible. So living a more classy, elegant lifestyle, even if it's messy at times, nobody's perfect, darling. It isn't about spending more money. It's about being mindful where you spend your money. It's about building a life and a lifestyle rather than following trends and buying just for the sake of it. We all know when we're being marketed to. Most of us are savvy enough to see that now. But we're also socialized and conditioned through social media, societal pressure to look and act a certain way. There are arbitrary rules on where we're supposed to spend our money, what we should be buying to fit in. But just taking the time to question why you're buying something and why you want it in the first place can go a really long way in stopping those impulse purchases. And it makes you really think about the life that you're trying to build for yourself. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a magical week and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.